Good morning, everyone. This is Marty Harger, and welcome to some information today. I want to share with you about 6 different essential oils and blends that you might want to incorporate for the upcoming autumn equinox. So this Saturday, September 21st, begins the new season where we balance half the day of darkness and half the day of light, at least in the hemisphere that I'm in, which is really about harmonizing the forces of nature and the forces of the energies of the universe. I also liken it in yoga practice, the idea of balancing effort and ease, which is a common thing we think about when we're practicing asana. And the idea that we have to put out some effort, but we can also relax into the season of fall. So it's an opportunity for those of you who are at the convention to do a bit of a post-convention energy check-in. And this month, with the Essential Yoga Program workshop format in the book, the Essential Yoga Program, you'll see that the theme is about foundation and anchoring in the lower chakras. Now, just so everybody's clear, the Essential Yoga Program, as we wrote it as a group, was to help people find a template or an approach that they can use to be able to work from that and adjust with oils that might make sense for them or oils they happen to have to be able to use in their own personal practice, to use in yoga classes and yoga workshops, as the program was designed for a 90-minute to 2-hour workshop introducing the doTERRA essential oils periodically throughout that workshop. So typically we have about 6 essential oils and blends that we work with. 2 of the oils and blends that are in this month's workshop that are outlined in the book include cypress essential oil and also the balance essential oil. Cypress is the oil of motion and flow. So it's a perfect choice as we go into effort and ease to get things moving and get us underway. The balance blend, of course, is about grounding. And this is to try to help us ground our energies as we are starting to go with what I would consider the downward energy of the fall and winter seasons with the upward energy we've just had of the summer. So as we come back into balance, we want to try to find oils that bring us to that place. The cypress and balance oils that are suggested in the workshop are great choices, but I wanted to offer you today a couple of other ideas, particularly incorporating one of the new oils from that was just released at convention that you'll be able to purchase October 1st from doTERRA. And anyway, what I want to talk about right now is one of my favorite oils for balancing the forces of high energy, low energy is geranium. It's an excellent oil for physical and emotional use. It is a beautiful oil to help us enjoy everything from the love and to really allow us to open our heart. I think it's an excellent choice this time of year as we start thinking about what's ahead for a season of gratitude coming into the fall. And I love incorporating geranium into a yoga practice. I think it's a really lovely combination of that heavy and light aroma. So that's a suggestion that I have, is to think about geranium. But I also want to offer one that is very, very steadying and suggest to you that you think about the In Tune blend, which is one that has a lot of the heavier oils like patchouli and vetiver, sandalwood, some things that help us bring our energy down. For those of you coming back from convention, your head is spinning. You've heard about all these great things that doTERRA is doing and offering us, and the research and the science and the verification and validation of the quality of the essential oils, the amazing humanitarian efforts around the world that your donations to the Healing Hands Foundation are creating, in addition to this beautiful collection of 13 new essential oils and blends. And I mention all of those things because one of my challenges, as I'm sure can be yours, is that in the fall season, as the winds of the cooler weather start kicking in around where I live, there's a lot of wind. There's a lot of wind and spinning energy. And so being able to ground myself is a super important thing. And I find when I begin my day with a home yoga practice, I really need to incorporate essential oils that helped me get literally my feet on the ground. And coming back from convention, that regrounding with all of that new information, digesting all that new information, whether you're there live or you're watching the live stream, which I urge you to do if you're a part of the doTERRA family. It's so worth it to watch the presentations yourself, take your own notes and absorb it as you choose. And by the way, I think you hopefully know you have access to that live streaming recording through the 31st of October. So you've got 2 months to listen. But anyway, back to my topic about equinox. I love that idea of equal, because the equal energies is really what we're focusing on, how to bring that into our practice. We have a lot of mental energy. How can we bring it down into a more grounded state? I like to take a look at some of the other essential oils that I might incorporate into a workshop or a class this month if I happen to have them. There are a couple of other suggestions that I want to make, and one of them is Magnolia. Magnolia, interestingly, is an oil that's very helpful for grounding, even though it has more of a flowery aroma because it is a flower. I think it's a beautiful oil to incorporate, and as a touch option, it's easy to pass around in a class or a workshop. What I like to do is actually have people put it on the palm of their hands. And then there's a couple of things that they can do with that. They can rub their hands together, cup it around their nose for a deep inhalation. They might want to take the Magnolia, put it perhaps in a third eye application, and then maybe on the tops of their feet. Now I say the tops of their feet because we're looking at grounding that energy, balancing, grounding, high, low. But the reason that we take something like the touch blends and we put them on the top of the feet or even the inside of the leg is because they have fractionated coconut oil in them. And fractionated coconut oil and yoga mats don't mix very well. So the Magnolia touch, I think, is a great choice. And just to let you know, this is the oil of compassion. So as you take a look at information about what Magnolia brings, it really helps create a tender place in the heart to learn important lessons from this higher plane of consciousness about human interconnectedness and how to live in love and harmony. There's so much more to it than that, but I wanted to introduce the Magnolia as something you might want to bring into your classes or workshops this month, the oil of compassion. Now, I'm going to step out of my conversation for a minute, and I want to make a plug for this brand new Essential Emotions book. There is a woman named Amanda Porter who has written all of the new content in this book. And I'm telling you something, I've been buying this book from the beginning. And this book, this issue is unbelievable. This is the 8th edition. And as far as I know, I think the only place you can buy it right now is Oil Life. I could be wrong on that, so I apologize to anybody else who's selling it. It's $24. But I'll tell you what she's done in this book that's made it even more magnificent. Magnolia magnificent. Not only does she have a beautiful emotional profile of every single essential oil and blend, including the kids collection, each of the yoga collection oils, and all the new oils and blends, but right after that, she has this emotions guide section. And in this section, I'm sorry, this is all backwards for you, but in this section, she goes through kind of a la Louise Hay, what is going on in terms of if you're feeling a certain emotion. She suggests essential oils, she offers an affirmation, and importantly, she asks questions. So if you're a yoga teacher, this is a great tool because to add to the concept of the workshops, because what I love about it is it offers you a question you can ask your class to ponder during meditation, thinking about their intention, helping them work through different emotions, which I think is such a wonderful added benefit that can be offered in a yoga classroom setting. She also has this fantastic body guide. So this is what I meant was more like the Louise Hay, how You Can Heal Your Life book. Is sort of a seminal book about the connection between the body and the emotion and the spirit. But she has specific issues. So let's say you have a problem with your forearm, and she'll give you, what does that really translate to? What's going on for you emotionally that might manifest in your forearm? And what are some of the emotions that you may be feeling and then she asks you a question. So why is that emotion coming up for you? Anyway, I'm not doing the book justice, but I'm telling you guys, $24 plus shipping or whatever you do on Oil Life. This one is a definite for anybody who practices yoga and is in search of deeper understanding of themselves and others. Essential Emotions, I am a massive fan. So let me tell you something. I'm going to go back now to my topic about the autumn equinox. So one of the oils that was introduced at convention that will be available October 1st is the beautiful black spruce oil. This comes from a region in northern Canada. The process of how the sustainability of the way they get this essential oil. It's a family who has created a really interesting process. You'll be able to watch a video about it. It's a beautiful conifer oil. And what they do is they use the lumber from the trees for building, and then they have this robotic arm thing that clamps onto the small branches and the pine needles and pulls them off and puts them right into the distillation process. They use the steam from the distillation process. The excess steam actually goes underground and helps to heat the process of the lumber mill and the functioning of that. I mean, it was fascinating, full cycle, environmentally sustainable and environmentally conscious approach to creating black spruce. So that part is interesting. But when we talk about the balances, the black spruce oil is a fantastic oil to help us in grounding ourselves. And emotionally, it's the oil of stability. So this is something that helps us particularly if we've been in times of crisis or shock or trauma. And if your energy feels splintered, this is why I'm choosing this. This helps us to refocus our energy and stabilize it so we return to a grounded, balanced state. Now, there's much more to it than that, but let me just say that if you're using the black spruce and you were at convention and you bought a kit last week, black spruce would be a beautiful oil to probably dilute and share with people in your class or workshop this month, because the energies of the universe right now are in such a spin. And as we want to bring effort and ease together, as we want to bring the high energy and the deeper, darker energy together in an equal balance this season, black spruce is a fantastic tool to incorporate into your practice. So again, the Essential Yoga Program book outlines specific essential oils that are recommended for the theme and to try to help introduce people to different aspects of the doTERRA essential oil collection. It's a great thing for you to use personally or professionally in a class or a workshop setting, but incorporating some other oils such as geranium or perhaps the In Tune blend, the Magnolia, geranium, and the brand new favorite for me, black spruce, would be a great way to help people bring themselves into balance. My point today is to use what you have, but celebrate this season, celebrate the autumn equinox this weekend, and bring these oils into your yoga practice to really deepen and enhance your experience. I also want to make a side note. If you're not aware of this, I may have mentioned this recently, but the Essential Yoga Program is also available as an ebook, and with a Kindle reader on your phone or your ebook, you'll be able to take this book anywhere that you go. I know a lot of yoga teachers like to work from an ebook version of things. So it's $10.67. It's, a couple of runs from Starbucks. It's less than a yoga class. Anyway, I just want to say it's not a big investment, but I think it would be really handy and helpful for those of you who want to have easy access to the tool. And you can download that off of Amazon. Just look for the ebook version of the Essential Yoga Program. And it is the 2018 version, so you'll have all the things that you need to know. So that's the information I wanted to share with you today. I wish you a wonderful week and weekend as you move into the autumn equinox, balancing light and dark using the doTERRA essential oils. Thanks so much for joining me today this morning, everyone. Have a beautiful week. Namaste.